All right, welcome, welcome. We have started the podcast. There we go. Hey, it's Dr. Letitia Wright. I am host of the Right Place television show. You can find me on Periscope, on Periscope, on Snapchat, on Twitter, as Dr. Wright One. And so what I talk about is crowdfunding. I'm America's crowdfunding strategist, and I help you get fully funded in 90 days or less. And so I talk about the ways and the things that you need to do to make that happen. So if you're interested in raising money for your business or your nonprofit or your cause using the crowdfunding strategy, this is where you should be. Right here you can subscribe. If you click on there, you will subscribe, and that way you'll get a notice that I'm having a show coming up. I'm usually doing this Monday through Thursday. We got a holiday weekend, so we might have a short week this week. And I have a Periscope group called Perry Crowdfunders on Facebook that you can join, and you can also meet other people who are crowdfunding, and you can find out more about crowdfunding. And so I do these periscopes to get people ready for crowdfunding, because I find out that people want to crowdfund, they want to raise money, they want to try to do something, and they try to crowdfund it and they don't find very much success. And then they're confused about whether or not crowdfunding even works. So swipe and share this with your friends. Swipe left or swipe up and down. Share it with your friends on Twitter and Facebook, because when you start crowdfunding, these are the people that are going to be supporting you. And so you want to make sure that they get the whole thing about crowdfunding too, and about how it works. The crowdfunding checklists and getting on your way to your first $10,000 really means using the checklist. That means going down the checklist and actually doing each thing and doing it in order. I find that a lot of people are very, very creative, and hello 26, welcome. They're very creative, and they don't know how to follow instructions. I don't know if you've ever met somebody like that, but they're very creative, and as soon as you give them instruction A, B, and C, their mind goes out to really changing it, and they want to do C, B, A. They want to do it differently. So one thing about checklists, when you get checklists and you first start doing something that's pretty brand new, instead of changing the checklist, instead of trying to figure out your own way, follow the checklist. This means follow what they're doing, figure it out, and then, go forward. So on your way to your first 10,000, your first 10K, one of the things that you have to do is you have to know who is your tribe. You have to be clear on who is going to be the people, or who are going to be the people that will work with you. Who are going to be the people that will embrace your project and want to put money into it? Because crowdfunding is about money. Now, if you're crowdfunding and you're doing something special where you guys are trading stuff, or you're crowdfunding and you're doing something where something else is being exchanged besides money, there is some types of crowdfunding going on, that's a whole different ball game. And what I like to talk about and what I like to teach about happens with money. It's all about money. So if you're trying to give people money, or get people to give you money, who are these people? Who are these people? Who are your perfect customers? Are you clear on who your perfect customers really are? Because if you're not clear on who they are, it's very hard to ask them for money. For example, if you're selling dog food and all of the people you talk to are cat food people, and they all say no, 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 you might feel very, very dejected and feel like, wow, I'm not doing a good job because everybody's saying no, when in fact it is not about no. It is really about what's going on with their needs, and are you meeting their needs? Because you're selling dog food and you are then they have cats. You have a problem. And so that's what's happening with a lot of crowdfunding. There's no message to match. What if you are fundraising for a film project? That's a great idea. Fundraising for a film project is really clear cut and kind of an easier thing to do, and I'll tell you why. Crowdfunding for a film, you know what genre your film is in. Whenever you make a film, for those of you that are not filmmakers, I'm a filmmaker, the person asking the question is a filmmaker. I said she, I don't know if you're she. The person asking a filmmaker asked a question. Filmmakers know what genre their films are already in. In other words, you know if you're making a horror or a documentary. You know if you're making a comedy. You know if you're making a drama, a thriller, horror. Horror is different from thrillers. You know all of that stuff. Hey, Pack for Success, good to see you. You know exactly what genre a film is going to be in. So it's very easy for you to figure out who are the people that are going to give you money, because it's all of the people who love that genre of films. I love zombies, and so I'm interested in zombie films, whether they're bad, whether they're good, whether they're classic. And so if someone was crowdfunding a film and it was a zombie film, thank you for the hearts. It's immediately going to get my attention. I'm immediately in there. Hearts are free, so go ahead and tap that screen. Hearts are free. So I'm immediately in there with you. So when it comes to filmmakers, you guys have a really easy job, because while you were making the film, before you were making the film, while you were planning the film, you already knew exactly who would be interested in the film. And so it's easy to go after them, and it's easy to get the money from them. This is good. I have open Q&A, so please go ahead and type in, swipe and share with your friends. Invite them in to ask questions so we can get it done. Invite people who might be on your team. You might be working with people to crowdfund, and so invite those people in. So one of the first things, we're talking about the crowdfunding checklist. I'm Dr. Letitia Wright. I'm America's crowdfunding strategist, and I teach you how to get fully funded in 90 days or less in a crowdfunding situation. Hello. So what we're talking about is the checklist. What do you need to do to get that first 10,000? And number one was to be clear on who this crowdfunding project is for. The second thing you want to be clear in is what you're doing, which is also super easy for a filmmaker, because you know what you're doing. You're making a film. A lot of people, your crowdfunding project is so vague, and people are really not clear as to what it is you're offering. Some people write up things for themselves. They really want to crowdfund a seminar for themselves. Now, in the old days, what we used to do, 10 years ago before crowdfunding, if you didn't have money to go to a seminar and you really wanted to go to a seminar, what you did was you called a bunch of friends who might want to go to the seminar and can't go, and go, look, I want to go to this seminar and it's $500 and I just don't have the $500. So if each of you gives me $50, I'm going to take all the notes. I'm going to get everything done. I'm going to have everything ready for you. And when I come home, I'm going to give you notes so that you can have the same experience I had, just like when I was there. So that's the way people used to do it. They would just get a bunch of friends together and say, hey, I can't go to this event, but I promise you I will give you all the notes. I'll copy everything. I'll have everything there, and we can all benefit in the information that I'm going to get from this seminar. And that was crowdfunding a seminar. Now you can go online and crowdfund a seminar. You could say, I want to go here and this, but you got to be clear on what you're giving people. You can't pretend that you're going to give people, give me some hearts. That's an idea you hadn't thought about. You can't pretend that you're going to give somebody something that you're not. Let me, give me money so I can take this class, so I can be a better person, so I can help you. That's very, very vague. That's very, very, you have to tell people exactly what they're getting for the money. And so it's really, really important. So the other checklist is be clear on what you're doing. Some of you Okay? Some of you are just not doing a whole lot. You have crowdfunding where you're asking for money and the person is getting nothing back. That's not really a good fit for you. That's not a good fit for you at all. So crowdfunding has a lot of great opportunities, but you got to be clear on what you're giving the other person. The other thing you have to think about is that making sure that you've done all your financial counting, that you can deliver on everything. In other words, sometimes people forget to take into account that the crowdfunding sites actually have commissions. Did you guys know that? Give me some hearts if you knew about the commissions. I talk about them all the time. Commissions are an important, good, give me some hearts. That is an important part of figuring out how much money you're going to get. What if you go into it? What if you go into it and you come out and you don't have enough money to finish? You've got to have a plan B, and you've got to understand your numbers. So what happens when your numbers are missing? What happens when the numbers are not there? So that is all part of the checklist. So listen, I'm not going to keep you guys too long today. If you still have questions about your crowdfunding project and you really like a little more help to work through it, I'm available to talk to you. My number, you got to write this down. Somebody can type this in the slot for me. You can call the office, 909-906-9797. Again, you can call the office at 909-906-9797. I'm sorry, let me get you the other office number, 909-235-9744. 909-235-9744. Again, 909-235-9744. If you'd like to call me and talk to me about your project, see if we can get it ready for you to crowdfund, today would be a great day. So I'm talking about crowdfunding and how to raise money, how to get fully funded in 90 days or less using the crowdfunding strategy. And so with crowdfunding, there's a way to do it. You don't just throw it up against the wall because you saw somebody else raise some money. And crowdfunding is a way to raise money online. So if you'd like to talk to me personally about crowdfunding, yes, that's exactly how you say it. If you'd like to talk to me, again, you can give me a call at 909-235-9744. This will be up for a replay, so you'll be able to catch everything. I am doing crowdfunding teaching all week long, and I'm sharing all of the bits and pieces. So go ahead and get that. Give me a call. Let's talk about your project. Let's talk about how to get you fully funded in 90 days or less. I'll talk to you tomorrow. This is Dr. Wright, America's crowdfunding strategist, saying ciao for now.